What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stock. Today is September the 4th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and where big money is gravitating towards today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with some good data points, you got pretty much nothing. So it is going to be more of a technical driven day. And this is why you do see kind of the fear from yesterday rolling over to today. So NASDAQ already down 0.59%, S&P down 0.37%, and Dow 0.22%. This might be somewhat of a bold statement, but you do see it recovering. So potentially we've seen in the past, I think more notably when the market was selling off, everything was down like 10+%. For the most part, it kind of closed even. So I'm not saying today is going to have a kind of massive reversal, but at the same time, I could see some kind of uptrend a little bit. So we'll just have to kind of watch, wait and see. But as of right now, though, fear and greed index is moving back to the neutral category. So people's appetite for risk is somewhat diminishing. And that's, again, kind of apparent based on a lot of the stocks I'm going to be talking on. So getting right to it, though, you do have Sofi. Sofi right now is just piggybacking off of the broader market. It is down 1.46%. Shorts have been really patiently waiting for a while for this type of moment. So a lot of fear. So anticipate them to be relatively active, especially as what they were yesterday. But 17.73% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 185.55 million shares overall are being shorted. So just wait and see for that. Right now with it at $7.42 pre-market, it's kind of flirting with this pivot, and actually it is momentarily below that. So that will be one point to really watch for today, because as you can kind of see, if it does break below that, then we're kind of in the $6 territory once again. And I really like SoFi. This is why I still cover it, but man, any stock failing to really hold any gains like this, I don't know, it really hurts the sentiment long term, because then if I know it's not going to break above 8, well, hell, I might as well swing trade it. Adds a lot more selling pressure coming from retail, and it's just a rinse and repeat cycle. It's a very unfortunate circumstance. And speaking of what retail absolutely loves, Palantir. So Palantir, I think based on everything, even I did a video yesterday under Financial Journey, Palantir is due for a pullback. And I think there's a lot of comparables to Nvidia. Not necessarily just the fundamental business, but just how people in Wall Street is perceiving Palantir. So Palantir, based on what they offer, is just way too high. So I think it's long past due for a pullback. You guys might hate me for that, but I just say how it is. So it is down slightly, no actual news associated to that. When it comes to shorts, though, you have seen them increase. So Palantir isn't a squeeze play. 3.17% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 61.38 million shares. But as you can kind of see right here, shorts are starting to break the trend and are increasing slightly. Nothing significant, but again, it kind of shows more of a, hey, Palantir's overdone. Similar to Nvidia, which again isn't also heavily shorted, but sharks are starting to come, and that will definitely and no doubtably cause a little bit more of a downtrend. Right now with it at $29.88, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 33.16 will be the strong kind of resistance / target. On the flip side, 28.61, and I'm looking at the one-day chart on the side note, so very strong support and resistance points. So 28.61, I don't anticipate that being touched today unless craziness and all hell breaks loose, but bigger picture, most likely this week, I do feel that the pivot will be touched and potentially broken below. So again, we'll just have to wait and see what does happen. So this company, ticker ATHA, is getting slaughtered this morning. This is what they do. On a side note, so the company profile, pharmaceuticals, 66 employees, founded in 2011, but they are down because of this news right here. So any phase 2, 3, like they've done so much and spent so much money to get to that stage, for them not to get the results is kind of horrific. So yeah, that is why it is down 73.53%. It's not heavily shorted either. On a side note, so only around 5% of the short interest or free float is being shorted. So 5.06 works out to be 1.37 million. Again, if you try to analyze this though, it does show that shorts are getting a little bit more bold with this company, and rightfully so, I guess, but it did go from 3.33 to where it is now. So shorts have been starting to increase, still not significantly though, so something to just be aware of. Right now with it at 75 and change, it is getting slaughtered, like I said. So kind of have to even look at the 1 week chart. So it's kind of crazy how low it is. So essentially 82 cents, I can see a recovery to around that range. I don't feel that it's going to get back to at least the ones, and most likely we'll just flirt with this S2 throughout the day, unless again something does happen. But I don't really know the extent of this business and how damaging to the bottom line this is. So I don't know if this is now considering bankruptcy, or going to be at least leading now because of this. So just do your own due diligence. Of course, I do have to speak on Nvidia. So Nvidia is definitely very, very interesting. So a lot of rumors about Nancy selling out is causing just some fear. You have the DOJ there's a lot of things all happening at once with Nvidia. And not only has it really, especially from their earnings, not gone up 20%, that immediately started to spook investors. But you do have just a lot of different third-party kind of scenarios happening, all really affecting Nvidia. So yeah, I think it is due for a little bit more of a pullback. Right now with it at 20 or 105 and change, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. Similar to Palantir, like I mentioned, it did go up very fast, somewhat justified, but at the same time not, because the Wall Street is still trying to, both of them in fact are kind of misappropriately evaluated, if I'm putting that in a nice way. But $98 is basically going to be the next very strong support. And that's aside from most likely that $100 range. That 100 will be more of a psychological one. I don't anticipate this to be touched whatsoever. But then again, yesterday, randomly, it did go down 9.53%. So it could definitely escalate dependent on everything, and that's assuming there is no kind of value reversal today. So 113 will be the next strong resistance / target. I don't see that being touched whatsoever. So most likely it's just going to trade within this range, possibly touching that 100. Again, worst case scenario. And finally, last but not least, Intel is down 2.44% after getting slaughtered yesterday, down 8.8%. They're down because of this. So Broadcom, I believe, is failed some tests and stuff like that. And it shows that Broadcom's tests involved sending silicone wafers through Intel's advanced manufacturing process called 18A. So I think it's just more of a domino effect. So negative news for Broadcom using Intel's whatever, it obviously is affecting them as a byproduct. It's not heavily shorted, so I'm not going to waste your time with that. But right now with that $19.62, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 19.33 will be the strong support, and then 23.86 will be the next strong resistance / target. And so in my opinion, I do feel, given the circumstances, this S1 could be touched, most definitely. And again, if it does kind of get within this range, then this is where you have a new 52-week low kind of staring at you in the face. So it's kind of crazy on how everything is going down so fast. In fact, a lot of the stocks, I do have to look at the 1-day chart, not the 4-hour. 4 hours a little bit better for at least the intraday for the most part, and that's what these videos are all about. What is going to happen today, swing trades and things that you need to know. But today should be a interesting day, and that's going to be more of an understatement. And actually, maybe I'm wrong. It looks like the futures are getting a little bit worse for wear, and no recovery is kind of in sight. So let me know your thoughts. Is there any stocks that is on your watch list, or are you primarily in cash? I even posted something on Twitter yesterday saying, what % of cash are you guys in? And a lot of people were saying 50, 75, 100%. So it's kind of crazy, the fact that even regular retail investors are clearly forecasting a lot of fear. And I have brought this up in the past. So this is kind of shows how much money is sitting in money markets, and it is at record all-time highs right now of, I think it's $6.6 trillion. So essentially, people would rather earn the 3.5% or 4% or whatever it's at right now versus even risking it in equity. So it's kind of interesting. So retail and institutions are in agreement that the broader market is just too high and that there is a pullback needed. So kind of crazy stuff. What's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Take advantage of this promo. On a side note, simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.